right, thanks, Steve. We'll see you then. A half-century ago, one of Hollywood's biggest stars brought a controversial message to upstate New York that brought both condemnation and praise. Our Liz Bishop joins us now with tonight's CBS6 Rewind. Liz.
JT, by the time she won her first Oscar, Jane Fonda was already making headlines for her vehement anti-Vietnam War stance. In 1972, she went out on a 7-state swing in favor of Democrat and anti-war presidential candidate George McGovern. It was a tour that took her to New York's Hudson Valley. And that's my Rewind tonight. For millions of Americans, her hop up onto a North Vietnamese anti-aircraft gun and the click of a camera transformed actress Jane Fonda from a Hollywood sex symbol into an American traitor. A year after winning an Oscar for Clute, she outraged the country by her trip to North Vietnam, where she appeared to be fraternizing with the enemy. Fonda then used that notoriety to barnstorm around the country in support of George McGovern's presidential campaign and her protest of the U.S. involvement in Vietnam.
I went there because I know we're not being told the truth. It is something that is impossible for us to know about unless we go beyond the people who are telling us that we're traitors and criticize the government.
On September 18, 1972, Jane Fonda brought her anti-war message to the Hudson Valley, speaking before a mostly college-age crowd of thousands. She told our reporter Bill Fortune her goal was to persuade voters in 7 key swing states to vote McGovern.
We must now expose the escalation of the war under the Nixon administration, because it is escalating beyond anything. It is unprecedented. It is far beyond what was happening during the Johnson administration.
Despite the cachet that went along with being a Hollywood actress, even one who was as polarizing as she was, Fonda even took her anti-war stance to a 5,000-watt local radio station.
It is terribly important for us to understand who Nixon is.
17 years later, that 2-day trip to North Vietnam was still haunting her as she came back to the area as commencement speaker at her alma mater, Emma Willard School in Troy. Fonda told the graduates to be aware of their world and dare to make it better.
An active, aware citizenry can make a difference.
The joyous moment on the Emma Willard campus for the 88 graduates was soon drowned out by the dozens of Vietnam vets outside the gates. By 1989, Fonda had apologized for her actions that many viewed as treacherous during those turbulent early 70s. But her critics that day wanted more.
Jane Fonda is sincere in her apology. She'll work somewhere within the veterans community. Let her go to Hanoi and find out what happened to these Americans.
Fonda had no comment.
The vets outside, they're angry with you.
Fonda came back one more time to Emma Willard in 2015 for her 60th reunion. She graduated from Emma Willard in 1955 and said that the experience at the Troy School helped her to be confident in her intelligence. She's been arrested a half-dozen times, the first in 1970 for smuggling drugs, which she denied, and 5 times, including in recent years, for protesting against climate change. JT?